Ever scroll through the news and just wonder, what is really going on out there? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain on international relations. We're going to give you the toolkit to decode all the power plays and politics that are shaping our world right now.
It really all boils down to this one question. Why do some countries become best friends while others end up at war? The answer is, well, it's complicated. But by the end of this, you'll have a much better framework for figuring it all out.
Okay, first things first, the lenses of power. See, to understand the world, you first have to understand the different ways people see it. In international relations, they call these theories, but honestly, it's way easier to just think of them as different pairs of glasses.
And this is the whole secret right here. Each pair of glasses, each lens, it highlights different things and makes you come to totally different conclusions about why countries do what they do. So, let's try a couple on for size. First up, let's look through the realism lens. Imagine the world is kind of like a tough neighborhood with no police force. In this view, every single state is just trying to be the strongest one on the block. And why? For one simple reason: survival. For a realist, power is absolutely everything.
Now, let's swap out those lenses for a different pair. This one is called idealism, and it's a lot more optimistic. It sees the world less like a constant fight and more like a potential community, a place where nations can actually work together, guided by shared values and laws, to build a better, more peaceful world.
This chart, this really gets to the heart of the whole debate. On one side, you've got realism, which sees countries as basically selfish, always looking for an edge. But on the other, you've got idealism, which argues, hey, we can collaborate for the greater good. This one disagreement pretty much shapes all of global politics.
And believe me, it doesn't stop with just those two. The field is packed with other lenses. For example, some theories focus on how economics and money drive conflict. Others look at how our ideas about culture and who we are can shape how a whole nation acts. Each one gives you a unique piece of the puzzle.
Okay, so now that we have our different lenses, who are we actually looking at? Let's meet the players on the global stage.
For hundreds of years, the main player in the game has been the state. Yep, what we usually just call a country. It's the foundational building block of the entire system, the most important piece on the chessboard.
So, what gives a state its power? It's this huge idea called sovereignty. Basically, it means a government has the final say on what happens inside its own borders. Think of it like being the absolute king or queen of your own castle.
But here's the thing. The stage is getting seriously crowded these days. It's not just a game of countries anymore. Now you've got these incredibly powerful players like the United Nations, massive economic clubs like the European Union, international courts, and all sorts of other groups that are changing the rules of the game.
So, with all these different players running around, how is the game actually played? Well, believe it or not, there's a kind of rule book, a whole set of systems and institutions that try to bring some order to all the chaos.
A lot of the system we have today was literally built from the ashes of World War II. You can really see that idealist thinking here, right? Institutions like the United Nations were created specifically to stop another world war, while others were set up to manage the global economy and connect us all through trade.
And you can kind of group these big institutions into three main pillars. You've got the political pillar, where the big global debates happen. Then there's the economic pillar, which manages money and trade. And finally, the legal pillar, which tries to hold everyone accountable to the same set of rules. And it's not just a global game either. You've also got these really powerful regional neighborhoods, like the European Union or the African Union. Each one has its own unique focus and its own special set of rules for all its members.
All right, now for the ultimate test. How do all these theories and players and rules actually hold up when they smash into the massive, messy challenges of the real world?
For one thing, conflict itself has completely changed. We've gone from traditional country versus country wars to facing all new kinds of threats, the terrifying reality of weapons of mass destruction, and this urgent, desperate need for new ways to make peace.
And here is maybe the most important takeaway for our time. Today's biggest problems, they don't care about borders. Things like climate change, terrorism, migration, they're all tangled together. A problem that starts in one corner of the world can create a massive ripple effect across the entire globe. And on top of all that, we're seeing this powerful rise of identity, religion, and culture as major drivers in politics. It's not just about who has the biggest army or the most money anymore. It's also about who we feel we are and what we truly believe.
You know, the bottom line is this. For all our differences, for all our disagreements, we all live in one single, deeply interconnected world. And these challenges, they affect every single one of us. That makes understanding all this more essential than ever before.
Ultimately, that's what this is all about. International relations isn't going to give you all the answers, but what it does give you is the framework, the lenses, the list of players, the rule book, so you can start making sense of this beautiful, chaotic, complicated puzzle of our world.
So, I'm going to leave you with this question. Now that you have the toolkit, how are you going to see the world? The next time a big global crisis unfolds on the news, which lens will you choose to try and make sense of it all? The choice is yours.